I don't bring the best out of people. I allow them to see the best in them and connect to their heart center. There is no winning at life. We came here to serve. What does it mean to have a personal life? Well, I am one person everywhere.
Meet Rima Zanoun, a creative visionary, soulful mentor, and founder of Mikel and the heart-centered coffee concept, Cream by Mikel. With a mission to love, create, and profess truth, she transforms simple pleasures into powerful, purpose-driven experiences.
As long as there are human beings alive, there will be value exchanged. That is the essence of business.
You're a 300-year-old witch, which is a wonderful, interesting story.
Don't doubt. You know what you know. Don't doubt it.
Today, I have a very special guest. I have Rima Zanoun, who's a great entrepreneur, mentor, and life coach from Dubai. Rima, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Nabil. I'm happy to be here.
You have a wonderful story to tell to my audience. You are a wonderful entrepreneur. You started off at a chocolate brand called Mikel. You're a mentor and a life coach. And you're a 300-year-old witch, which is a wonderful, interesting story. So that means you're a 300-year-old soul in a beautiful body. I want to know more about this. So let's tell me about yourself, Rima.
I'm Rima. Maybe people can relate in this way to understand a little bit better is I've stuck very closely to my nature since I was a child, which meant I followed my heart a lot, which meant I've done quite a few different things and different areas, and they feel like many lives. I think spiritually we're all very old in many ways. And the more we remember that, the more we can get the age of that. So the body ages differently than our soul. Our soul evolves with our expansion and our growth, as opposed to the body, which just decays eventually, you know. So so I do have different businesses. I've founded about 7 businesses in my life. Currently, I've got the chocolate Mikel, different boutiques in the UAE, and a cafe in the IFC called Cream by Mikel, so it's still around the chocolate and the cacao. But it offers the experience, so people get to really come there. And the idea for it was really to create a space in the middle of the IFC, which is a very, mental space, a very male-driven space, to create a very soft, feminine, heartfelt space where people can go and drop into their hearts, even though they're wearing their suits and their minds are going, and they can just kind of drop into their hearts and connect to that. So yeah.
What do you enjoy the most? Because obviously you've got businesses and you help people, you mentor people, you coach people. What's your passion? What do you like the most?
I'm a passionate human being. So I don't have a passion, but I'm a passionate human being, and my North Star has always been and will always be the pursuit and seeking the truth. So for me, that's what interests me, and as much as possible, really accessing that and accessing how much of our consciousness we can access and draw from and put into language, put into art, put into different things to express in this world. So it's really connecting the mind to the heart and really connecting back to source. So I do a lot of talks, I do workshops, mentorship, one-on-one for the past 15 years. I do groups, all sorts of things where we kind of, and it's not like I have an ability that somebody else doesn't. It's just I have a real hunger for truth and really kind of figuring that out.
So you bring the best out of people.
Yes, that's the goal. I don't bring the best out of people. I allow them to see the best in them and connect to their heart center. I was just talking yesterday. Timelines are a bit messed up. Yes, it was yesterday. Yesterday I was talking about really what is the job or the duty of a mentor or a coach or anybody who's in the help industry is to allow others to become their own helpers. Because I'm not the expert at you. I will never be the expert at you. I can never be the expert at you. We are trying to become the experts of ourselves and refining our relationship with ourselves and understanding ourselves. What I can do, however, is help you connect back to the part of you that has the knowledge, that has the access to consciousness, that has the access to the all and all the data that's out there. So that's what I do with people. I meet them where they're at and I take them to the next step. whatever that next step is. I can't be saying, oh, this is what you need to know that I know, and let me teach you it. I'm not teaching you. This teaching is for me to know because I'm in this space or in that space. If I meet somebody here, I help them to go to the next step and the next step. And the ball is rolling, so the ball starts rolling for them. Yeah.
And also, Rima, people only grow when they're out of their comfort zone. So a lot of people are happy in their bubble and they're happy staying stagnant. But really, the true growth happens when you come out of your comfort zone. Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. I think comfort zone is what the mind has created. It's all the cages within the cages. Our mind is incredible at creating stories, and those stories weave together to create what we call our own matrix. Our own matrix is my illusion, my idea of reality, right? The indigenous people call it the Maya. We use the word matrix, and the movie really helped us kind of integrate that word into our language. But it's all the stories that I tell myself about what the world is. What's incredible really to think about is all these human beings, all of us, we walk around, we meet just like we did, and we meet other people every day, and we walk next to other people, and every single person is living in a completely different reality than yours. And that is just mind-boggling. It's incredible to think about. And then when we connect and we have conversations and we communicate, a lot of the disagreements, we think we are expressing what we're seeing and that it's being received on the other side by a person who sees things the way we do, but they don't. And everybody's got the nuances, and our version, our story of how I hold reality to be true, it's completely mine and nobody else's. So refining how we're able to communicate that, and mostly opening our minds to receiving somebody else's to enrich ours.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Interesting. But also, many scriptures, if you're a person of faith, like I'm a Muslim, it says that in the Holy Quran, it says God helps those who help themselves. So if you want to grow, whether you want to grow in business, you want to grow as an individual, because I'm on a self-growth journey as well, you have to work hard. So if you want to be financially better, you have to work harder and smarter and be honest and transparent, then you get the blessings. If you want to be slim and fit, because I'm trying to get a six-pack for the summer, you have to train hard, you have to eat well. So same with even spiritual growth, financial growth, personal growth, you have to work hard and smart. Do you agree with that?
100%. I think the scriptures are incredible but we've got to go directly to them. What I don't agree with is having a person in between telling me what the scriptures say.
Yes.
I don't need that. I am educated. I know how to read and write. I can read and write for myself.
Because a lot of people commercialize that. If you go to the person in the middle, they start charging you money, and God's there for you directly.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's a business. But the reality is, if you go to the movies with a child, right, and another person who's 16 years old and another person who's, let's say, 80 years old, you're all going to come out with a different version of what, was interesting to you in the movie. The child might be like, oh, the dog was barking, and you saw your whole life, childhood in that. And
everyone has a different interpretation.
Correct. Everybody sees at their capacity. Their capacity. It's like a lens. Some lenses can see really far, some just close up here. It's the same thing with people reading the scriptures. Those scriptures are incredibly complex. They have come from high intelligence, high consciousness, and we are here, human beings, mere human beings, opening our eyes, awakening to our own pace, and trying to read that. We see different things. We understand different things. There's so much imagery. It's so rich. It's so beautiful. But not everybody gets it the same way. So I don't need somebody else. I just need to read it again and again and again and again and again and again until the end of my days, and I will read it differently every time. In Islam, every year with Ramadan, it's important to read the Quran again. There's a reason for that.
Yes.
It's because I'm not going to understand it the same way I did last year or 5 years ago.
You have a different angle, different approach to it.
Correct. My capacity to understand it now is deepened. Now I can understand it deeper and deeper and deeper.
Because you might have read it when you're a 100-year-old witch. Now you might be a 300-year-old witch. So different interpretation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go. There you go.
And also my opinion is, Rima, that lots of people who don't go to God directly, they have weak iman, weak taqwa. They don't have a strong faith. That's why they don't go. But in the Holy Quran, it says God's closer to you than your jugular vein. So you have to go direct.
The first command in Quran is Iqra, which means read. Which means you read. I didn't say he reads for you, but you read. And that's exactly what you're saying, which is humans, and I maintain that, I believe, their biggest challenge in life is adulthood. And adulthood means I take full responsibility for everything in my life, which means I no longer put the responsibility on anybody else. I think energetically as human beings, without us knowing, doesn't matter if we've got white hair, we've been here for a long time or not, energetically, a lot of people still move, most people still move through the world wanting to hold mommy and daddy's hand. Which is, mommy means forgives me for all the issues. I just don't want to be accountable for all the stuff that I do. And daddy shows me the way. So I'm going to replace those energies in my life in other places. My job now becomes daddy. There, he's responsible for where I'm going, my promotions, whether I grow or not, or whatever. Mommy, on the other side, is the world that forgives me for all the things that I'm self-sabotaging myself with or whatever, but I get a cuddle and it's wiped away. Adulthood doesn't work like that. Mommy is not there. Whatever you do, you will be held accountable. Whatever you do, you can't get away with anything.
Every action has a reaction.
100%.
Yes.
And when we're children, yes, they're responsible for us. So, I could do whatever I want. It's forgiven. I'm shown direction. But adulthood really is an energetic state. It is saying, my parents are now behind me. And I am looking towards the future, and I'm fully responsible for that future. That extra cake I'm going to eat, I'm going to feel it. Nobody's taking that away from me. That interview I'm not going to go to, I will pay the price for that.
Yes.
Everything I do or
every
don't
workout
do,
you miss, you're going to feel it.
Correct. And that I think is where we start having really true sovereignty in our life and how we move through the world.
Because Rima, in order to gain something, you have to sacrifice something. So if you want to be successful, you have to stop going out partying, drinking, so you can feel fresh on Monday morning. If you want a great body, you can't eat that cake, can you?
Correct.
You can't eat your chocolate.
Yeah, you can't eat kilos of it. That's true.
Yeah.
I agree. And yes, so life gives us feedback. This is life. Life is not here outside of me. And our senses are really good at misleading us to believe that I have a life outside. No, I am alive. Experiencing a world, a reality that I'm creating with my thoughts. But this life here is fully going to experience every single choice it makes and doesn't make. So whether I'm going to do the right thing for me, self-sabotaging, whatever, I can't get away with anything. We get away with nothing.
Good.
That's incredible.
And also remember, so the scriptures like the Holy Bible, the Quran says God helps those who help themselves. So that's very true. You agree with that.
Yeah.
But also, Rima, I want to ask you for the listener's point of view, what do you think of manifestation? Like, for example, me, when I want something, I work hard for it. This is my experience as an entrepreneur. And I pray to God. So it's manifestation. So as a witch, 300-year-old witch, a spiritual soul, what do you think of manifestation? I'm praying for it. What do you think of that?
I think we can't do without it. So praying is the realm of the heart, which is the connection back to source, God, whatever you call it, whatever you believe in. We all agree that there is an energy force and intelligence behind it all. Even the scientists do, especially the scientists who are passionate about science. They reach a place and they say, now I believe in God.
Yes.
Because you can't just... You get to a point where the mystery starts.
That's what Scientology is about. Tom Cruise, he does Scientology.
Correct.
So basically that's what it's about. It all leads to the bigger universe.
Correct. Because we are that. And the science will lead you there. Technology will lead you there. All the roads lead us back to source. Every road. You can have a road of debauchery. Live a whole life of debauchery. Guess where you're going to end up? Back there. Look at the Andrew Tates and Dan Bilzerian. I don't know, I can't pronounce his name. They've all found their way back to wholesomeness. And
So spirituality.
correct. Yeah. Because all the roads will lead us there. It doesn't matter where you go, you're coming back to this heart. You can't escape this life. And it is when we pray for things, whatever prayer means to somebody, right? It can mean many different things for other people. So whenever we pray for things, what we're saying is we're really opening the energy of our heart and we're really speaking to our highest consciousness. Yes. And in our highest consciousness to give us guidance. That's what it does. It gives us guidance through intuition. We're saying, I am open to receiving guidance in whatever endeavor I have, whether it's this business or a marriage, a relationship, or whatever it is. I am looking for that guidance from within. Show me what I don't see.
Good. Right. So in effect, what you're telling the listeners is that we all go to the same destination. It's just a different journey we'll take to get there.
Yes. Marianne Williamson wrote a book called A Return to the Heart, which is exactly that. and she comes from a Christian background. So we are all returning to the heart. And the dilemma of this existence is the duality and the polarity. So the duality of the mind versus the heart. We've always heard those stories. This is the masculine, this is the feminine. And this energy here of the mind is separating us. It takes us far into the realm of the physical world and to all our senses and the pleasure and what we can take and get, and it's me, and I create these identities and masks of I am the most important, and it's about me winning, it's about me getting, it's about me getting and just taking from. And eventually that road is a road that is incredibly unfulfilling. The more does not fill the emptiness here. So you got a lot of people that, I have a lot of clients that say to me, I have worked 40 years. I have built, these multi-billion companies, and I've got this and I've got that. And well, I'm on my second marriage, so I thought this would be good. And this one was different. And and I've got children. I am dead inside, and I am numb, and I am empty. Why is it? And there's a sense of betrayal. There's a sense of life betrayed me. I won, but it feels absolutely not like I thought winning would. And
people hold on. People are very guarded with their emotions when they go through those experiences.
Correct. And there's no winning at life. We came here to serve, and the service is how we win. So when I come into this existence, into this body, so when the soul, energy, whatever you call it, comes into this body, it is already encoded with a mission, because nature, creation, does not create randomly. Every damn ant, a leaf, has a purpose. So do you, so do I. Completely different purposes.
And everything's meant to be as well.
Yes.
It's meant to be you're going to be on this podcast.
Correct, 100%. That's how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Energy with energy.
Exactly.
I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating when I meet people. And I'm sure you've experienced this many times. And you can feel this is soul business, or this person's coming to my life.
Sometimes you connect
right
with people. Sometimes you might meet someone and think you're not aligned. So people have different connections.
Yeah. And you can see, and there's no judgment whatsoever. We get to a place where there's absolutely no judgment. I can see somebody living completely different life, different morals, and I have zero judgments. I just see it as part of the perfection of the old. God is perfect. Creation is perfect. That person doesn't need to change.
Yes.
When I put on that judgment, is me saying, I know better than God what you should be. No, whatever you are right now is exactly what creation needs you to be at this moment.
Yes.
And how dare I come and say you should be different? I don't see the grand design, the full of it. Why you need to be evil right now. I don't see it. But there's a purpose for it.
I understand. One other thing I want to say is that I experience this a lot, because every year in Ramadan I go to Mecca, and when I realize anybody who does good, kind actions, they have nur on the face, light. Whereas if you go to prison and visit somebody, they might not have nur because they've done bad things. Right. So your good deeds are reflected in your face. Do you agree with that, Rima?
We are light.
Yes.
So the more we embrace the light, the more we see it.
Yeah, in Arabic we call it nur.
Nur.
So, yeah. So you have nur on the face. You've got lots of nur on your face,
Thank you so
Rima.
much. So do you.
Thank you.
Do you.
Thank you. So
much.
if you do good deeds, you get blessed with nur. Your face is reflected by your heart, in effect. Do you agree with that? Because you're a spiritual soul. That's why I wanted to ask you that.
100%. That's what it is. So we'll see it in people's faces. And that's beauty. That is what we see as beauty in the world. And the beauty we see in a wonderful landscape that just opens up our heart, a really nice, beautiful piece of music, that is also within us. We're made of the same elements of all of that. So when you see a human being that is, and you just see it, you don't need... Again, yesterday at this Congress, incredible people came to this Congress from around the world. And I was seeing all the different types of people and the business people and this and that. And I was thinking, all these titles, everybody's got, badges with, a whole paragraph of titles and whatever. And I can see past that very, very much. And I remember a time where maybe I was in my early 20s where I couldn't see past that. I was like, oh, this person is this. They've done this. They've created all of that. And I can see completely past that now because
you look at the whole package now.
I experienced the human.
Yes.
I experienced a human. And when you experience a person, I don't need to know anything. I know what you are. And because of that energy, I know what you know. Yes. I know where you're at. I know what access to consciousness you have. That's all I need to know.
Good.
Everything else is wonderful. We all do things. We don't take them with us. We leave them behind. But what we really take with us is our soul's expansion and what we impacted in terms of expanding the energy of the world and other people.
Good. So you can assess people very well.
Yes, which is I used to call it a curse when I was younger because I maybe didn't have the refinement as much. So I had my journey has been a lot of refining and how much to not always express. You don't have to say everything you see or
Exactly, I totally agree. Same with me. I've dated lots of beautiful women, Rima, in my time.
Yes,
and if
I'm sure.
and when I date a woman, and if I find her to be arrogant or I don't align with her personality, or there's something not aligned, I don't take it further because I look at the whole package.
Yeah.
Because she has to have good ikhlas, good manners, good personality, and then she's got beauty with her. That's amazing. That's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
So
that's a divine feminine.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to look for in life, to have the whole package. They're rare, but hopefully, God willing, one day I'll find the right person.
Yeah, well, these are people of devotion.
Yes.
People of devotion, and I'm still thinking about that. So I do some writing in the evenings, and I write about that a little bit, which is what drives people. Because I get this question a lot. It's like, what drove you to want to know? And I can't really answer that question so precisely. Can't say it was this thing or that thing. I think it's a culmination of different things. But I do think that devotion is the highest value that we can find, and it kind of puts the umbrella over all of the other ones. I work with a lot of people and they're like, how can you help me find more discipline? And I don't believe in discipline. I don't believe in, you having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of doing things. I believe mostly in understanding what's making you not do that, or what's the resistance there, and let's get rid of that, and that comes out naturally. So when we say, I want respect, same as respect is one of those values that we use when we don't have love, because the people you love, you don't need, they don't need to tell you respect me. Your love for them makes you
happens naturally.
100%.
Yes,
Respect
I agree with
is what
that.
we ask for when love is absent.
And respect is earned. You can't command respect. Like, I can't command your respect. I can only
Correct.
earn your respect. But one thing I do want to talk to you about is your very controversial topic is the 300-year witch. So that is, you might get good feedback with that, positive, because people have different opinions of witches.
Yeah.
So you said you're like a 300-year-old witch, and you self-proclaimed to be that.
Plus or minus a 0.
So because you have souls, some souls like a young soul. People say I'm a young soul in an older body. Some people have older souls in a younger body. So why did you get that title of a 300-year-old witch? I want to learn more about that.
It came to me years back, and it was a funny comment, and I just said it in a very intimate, private setting, and I said it out loud. I said, I'm a 300-year-old witch, and it just kind of locked in, and it stayed in. So I do believe there's some kind of truth to that. But what I mean by that, so souls are timeless. There's no age, right? We're numbers, we're using them in this reality.
Yes.
In other reality, your soul is ageless. It doesn't have time bound. It is not time bound. Witches. What are witches? So witches are all the women throughout history who spoke their mind. That's about it. It's all priestesses were called witches and burned.
Yes.
Oracles in different parts of the world, like Greece, etc. Same thing. We had women from around the world who had the courage to stand up in front of men and stand for truth, stand for God, stand for goodness and what is right. Were called witches. That's why they've been controlled not to read, not to write, not whatever, because woman has a connection to the divine. Yes. Naturally. A woman is the portal between the two realms. We have a womb through which soul comes. The woman is the past, the present, the future. Without woman, feminine energy, there is no life. She is life.
Yes.
Would be doing nothing. No man would do anything. Adam would be hanging out in heaven, just, kind of, which is what he was doing, just like kicking it. All right, what's this about? Woman comes and life starts, because that is the project of this existence. Why? Don't ask me. It's above my pay grade. Yeah. But that is the project of this life. And woman has a connection. When a woman is connected to herself and really sovereign and not lost in this world, she has a direct antenna. And that is why, throughout history, we also have the sayings of behind every great man is a great woman. And every great man that has experienced a great woman says, I would have never done it because she kept me on the path. because men by design, because he's more of the mental,
Yes.
more of the physical reality, man in the physical realm and loves things more, would get lost. He does get lost. Once woman comes in, whoot, he's
Yes.
aligned now. I have purpose. She has purpose. Now it's everything I do is for that.
Because a good woman can make or break a man.
Correct.
In England, they say behind every successful man, there's a woman.
Yes.
And then once there's a story in the Stone Ages, there's a king, he fell in love with a woman, and the woman basically ruined him. So you have to get the right woman in your life to make you or break you. Do you agree with that?
Correct. I think yes, of course, but we take responsibility. The king is blaming the woman for. It's like we take responsibility for
Yeah.
ourselves. It's like if she could. I mean, in this physical reality, men, so the masculine, is stronger than women. Hence why there has been dominance for millennia.
Yes.
Right? Just I could be speaking to you right now for hours. One punch, I'm on the floor. And I can't fight you physically. Because physically, no matter what, doesn't matter what comes at me verbally in my energy, in my power, you are stronger than me in the physical world. However, in the spiritual world, the ether,
Yes.
the feminine is stronger. And that's there's a beautiful saying that says, man is the protector of woman in the
Yes.
physical world, and woman is the protector of man in the spiritual world, which she is. She keeps him connected to his heart. She is his priest in a way, or priestess. She is his connection. When he looks into her eyes, he understands life.
Yes.
He understands why he exists, where he came from, where he's going, why he does the things he does, why he wakes up every day and he goes out there to slay dragons, which is not
Yeah.
easy. It's a tough world, and he's got to do all of that. He comes home and looks into her eyes and his children, and he understands why he is doing all of that. Now life makes sense. Without that, why is he doing any of what he's doing?
So there's reciprocal energy between man and woman.
She needs him, he needs her.
Yeah.
It is
So
one.
masculine energy, female energy.
Absolutely.
There's the reciprocation there. And also a quick hadith I want to say to you at this point is that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that a good man is a man who is good to the women. That's his mother, his wife, his sisters, or any woman that you interact with. Always be kind, polite, and respectful.
Correct.
So we should
We're
always
not
follow that.
enemies.
Yes.
You know, I think now, unfortunately, we're in a world there's a huge divide. The women are still holding on to a lot of resentment because they're tired, because they're working, and they're taking on the masculine roles, the absentee fathers. I mean, all the realities which we know. And the men have felt obsolete, have also really fallen more into their feminine energy, and they don't really know then what's the need for us if you hate us so much, and you know the men are hating on the women. So there's and there needs to be a coming together, because we can't do the future together. This war, this conflict is not
Yes.
pro-life; it's against life.
Yeah, definitely. There should be some synergy where they both collaborate together.
Yes. And they're craving one
Yes.
another. They're dying to find one another. You know, so that's the thing.
And there shouldn't be generalizing either, because lots of men, like in Dubai, say, oh, the gold diggers, or women say, oh, he's just a player. So everybody's not the same. Do you agree with that?
100%. And I think there's something very important to point out is when we say the gold digger, these are women who have lost their way, right? And they do exist. They do exist.
They exist everywhere in the world,
Yes.
not just Dubai. They
And
exist in Europe,
100%.
US, everywhere.
And this is a category of the feminine that has lost its way and have become extremely masculine.
Yes.
So when you see the women that are working in, you know, pornography or any of these things, these are extremely masculine
Yes.
women. That's not what the feminine is about. These are women that have said, you know what, the anger that we hold inside, the resentment, rightfully so, for the history of women through in the world. That's what it's manifesting in, right? This is not the answer, but this is a manifestation of an oppressed category of people that, you know, is now kind of revenging in their ways. Like, you can't use me, I'll use you.
But basically, they're selling the soul. It's not nourishing for the soul.
It's not, but that's what darkness can do. So humans, we come into this world and we will look at darkness straight in the eyes, and that's how it starts shaping us. You know, an infant comes into the world, it's the most beautiful, most purest thing in the universe. You look into that and it's just
Yes.
blank canvas. It's just pure light. And then little by little, consciously, unconsciously, with the environment, it will stare into the eyes of darkness, evil. It will see something done to them, abuse or whatever. And later on in life, we have a choice with how much of that darkness we have seen that has hardened us, the pain that we carry. We have to two paths to take.
Yes.
Some people will use that darkness, that pain, to harden and close their hearts and become just as bad as their abusers. It's, you did this to me, I will become that now. I become the
But two
evil
wrongs don't make a
person.
right, darling. Two wrongs still
Correct.
not make a right.
Correct. It's unconscious. So
Yes.
if their heart is closed, and
Yes.
I'm now moving through the world as the powerful, because I was disempowered at some point and I know what it feels like to be powerless. So I will be the overly powerful mogul that just dominates everybody. Or there is a different path that can be taken, which is, I know the pain that I've experienced and I don't want anybody else to ever experience that ever in their life.
That's
And
a good path.
therefore
That's
I'm
a better path. The latter.
And therefore I'm going to work on this pain as my own responsibility and not make anybody else who didn't cut me, I'm not going to bleed on them. I'm going to work on that knowing it's mine and become a beacon of light in the world so that never happens again. So that dies there with its abuser. I think women now are in two of these categories. There are the women that are going that way, and there are women that are going that way. Same with men. Some
Yes.
men are going this way, and there's, oh, they've been abused. They didn't have a father disapproved of them, and now I'm going to
Yes.
become the tyrant that walks around.
Like
Or-
the Andrew Tate types were.
Yes.
Yes.
Or I'm going to become, a lover, and a lover is higher than that person. A lover creates so much more with so much more ease in the world. All the people we write about in the books that we remember, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, are lovers. Lovers are warriors of love, warriors of the light. These are the most powerful human beings on earth.
But sometimes to get to the right goal, you have to go through those experiences.
Correct.
Like when I used to date women, I used to date really pretty ones, but now I'm a lot more selective.
Yeah.
If she doesn't tick my boxes, I won't be wasting my time. I say,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not in the headspace to date. Be very honest and transparent.
Correct. And as we move through life, we learn, we grow, and then we know what we need.
You
what
need
we
a bigger
want.
you need a bigger connection, because I'm on a self-growth journey, so you need a bigger connection, somebody you can connect with. It's not just about aesthetics.
It's the only thing that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah.
Connection.
Yes.
Connection means,
Not just beauty. Before I just to go for beauty, now it has to be
Yes.
deeper than that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Is we're not really relating with anybody but ourselves. We're relating with other human beings through ourselves, because this form really it is what our eyes see in this reality. So in this reality, yes, you are a form and I'm a form, but in the other reality, which is spirit realm, it's one energy. It's all one, interacting with one another. So what we want to experience more of is the love, the abundance, the peace. And when we choose that and we say, now I'm ready for that. I'm no longer, hiding. I've made peace with myself. So I am peace. I want to experience more of that. I need a mirror of that. So the people that I bring into my life, whether they're lovers or friends, have to be mirroring that back to me. When I'm with them, I feel that. I feel that self. Not another self where I'm hiding, another self where I'm uncomfortable, another self where I'm bored, but I'm making conversation.
Yes.
But a real self, that self. And then we start attracting that. Energy
Yes, of
attracts
course.
energy, yeah.
So also remember, lots of my social circle in Dubai and around the world, they say that it doesn't matter as a man what you look like, how handsome you are. It just matters, or what personality you've got. It depends how rich you are. So then the woman will come. So they say to me, why am I working out every day? Why am I doing this? Why am I going for a facial? They say it doesn't matter what you look like. Just make your wallet fatter and you'll get the woman. I said, no, I'm on a different level. So what's your view about that?
It depends what you want to get, right? Everybody.
If you offer the whole package, that's better. If you offer the personality, the
Correct.
looks, the money, that you're ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like buying a house. It's like anything you want
Yeah.
in life. Buying a house is not buying a house. There are so many different houses. Some houses are full experience. You've got your own land and your peace and the birds and whatever. And the other ones are an investment.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. So some relationships are agreements. If
Contractual agreement.
It's an agreement.
Yeah, I
It's,
agree
here's
with
my
that.
wallet. Here's the beauty. That's an agreement, And that's an agreement that's been throughout history for a long time as well. But it depends on what you're looking for. If that's what you're looking for, and it
But that's
works,
not true love. You don't want an agreement.
Absolutely
You want
not.
that spiritual
Love got nothing
connection.
to do with
Yeah.
relationships. Love has nothing to
Yeah.
do with relationships. Love is the bridge from one thing to another, from us to the world, and how we experience it's a state of being. Love has nothing to do with it. And relationships are two people coming together and having an agreement.
Yes,
So I can
agree.
be a full being of love and still want to have a relationship, but it's an agreement. An agreement means, what are we agreeing to do together? And it's a project of life. It
Yes.
could be a project of life. It could be, this is a partnership. This is where I'd like to go in life. This is my mission. This is what I am here to do. What about you? And we have missions that are similar visions of the world. We're just similar, and then we can partner up together and do it together, because that's the beauty of life.
Grow
We're meant
together,
to do
grow
it together.
together.
Yes, it's literally
Yeah.
saying, because what humans do together, what men and women do together, is they create a new world through physically children, and together they come together, grow together to create a new type of reality. This is what they say. This is the world we believe in, we dream of. What kind of world we would like to create together? What does it feel like? What are the values of it? And together, that's what they do. So it's a project in that way. So if both people have different views of the world, so if you're saying I'm meeting somebody who's, after the money and I'm not, and I don't care about, that, well, then no, absolutely, that's not going to work out. It won't last for long. But if two people are in agreement of that.
I think if you're truly blessed if you find true love in today's modern world. True love is very hard to find these days. You're a very blessed individual, or couple, shall I say.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to find these days. But Rima, the other question I want to ask you, you live in Dubai. You lived in Dubai all your life. And Dubai has a lot of beautiful women. Like on Sunday, I went to Serene, this lunch. It was rocking it. And I never met so many beautiful women that time. So as a woman living in Dubai, or even living in Western Europe or anywhere like USA, where you go to the cool places, you have to keep up with the Joneses. You have to be slim. You have to have the Botox filler, get the hair done. You have to look aesthetically beautiful to align with the society. What's your views about that? Because obviously you life coach and you help women and men. What's your views about women constantly trying to improve themselves, A, by the diet, B, by exercise, B, by aesthetics? What's your view about that in today's world? Because it's very competitive now, isn't it? Because if you go out, like I was talking to my friends on Sunday, that most of the girls that we were talking to, most of them had like their lips were big. So the standard trademark for a woman is lips, nose job, boob job. That's a standard trademark. What's your view about that?
I think that's a trend, and trends move. I mean, if you look at throughout history, there's always been trends of things. Now it's this, and this trend is dying. We're going back to the natural way now.
I think natural's better.
It's dying, yeah. But it's trends, right?
Yes.
And trends are what we sell to the world. So it's what we use. It's a medium to sell products and services. So as long as somebody is out of their center, out of their self-trust and self-belief and their own natural beauty, they will be buying things. And that's exactly what this physical reality is really good at, making people addicted to buying things. And how do I do that? As long as you're disconnected from yourself, meaning you feel some form of pain, suffering in your life, emptiness, not good enoughness, whateverness, lack of love, self-love, then I'm going to be able to sell you a lot of things. Somebody who really is centered, loves themselves, knows their self-worth, because their self is that they identify with is the eternal self. Well, you're not going to be able to sell them much. They don't want much. They don't need much. They're good. What do you need? I'm good.
It's a business ultimately.
Yeah.
The aesthetic industry in the world is a multi-billion-dollar
Of
industry.
course. Yes, and it's the same thing as social media, alcohol, many other things, clothes, old cars, watches, all of that. It's all of these we have to remember are part of the play. This reality is a beautiful play, and we've made rules in it. We've said, this metal is very expensive, gold, not this one. And this watch is very expensive, but not this one, because this. But then when you really think about what is it that we are making valuable, it's the characteristics of the thing. So why did gold become so valued around the world since the beginnings of time? Because they found a metal that was reliable, that didn't change in terms of color, and is flexible, so we can change it, malleable. So this was the characteristics which made this metal better than this one that rusts and blah, 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 right?
And it was scarce as well.
Correct.
And the other thing about gold, Rima, is you can transport it. So if you've got gold, for example, in India, you could take it to New York. If you've got gold in England, you can bring it to Dubai. It's easy. You can't transfer a property, can you? You can't pick up a...
Correct. So it's like, what are we going to find? That, and so really it's to focus on what are the qualities that humans value behind the gold. It's not the thing, it's what about the thing makes it valuable. And in that is, well, the quality of reliability, transportability, the flexibility. We can, mold
change
it,
it,
do
yeah.
whatever we want to do with it. It lasts for centuries without changing color, without whatever. So these are the qualities. This is what we as human beings really value. So we know the values, they're behind the product. So once I create a product and I want to sell it to you, I'm going to understand what your values are. So if your values are, I need to be validated, I want to be told I'm great and I'm this, whatever, I'm going to sell you stuff that are going to make you feel that way. Right.
Yeah.
So
it's all about marketing, basically.
So if you're correct. So if the value of a person who, let's say, has low self-worth, so they're just disconnected, and of course there's no judgment on that, it's just observation, but has difficulty loving themselves, what they're looking for is attention. So I'm going to sell you things that are get you attention, and I promise you they're Brazilian butt and this and that's going to get you attention.
And I think social media hasn't helped either, because if you look at girls, like mashallah, you're naturally beautiful. Lots of girls, Rima, they use filters on Instagram, and it's called catfishing. And when you meet them in real life, they don't look anything like that. Yeah. You look like that in real life and in your photos.
Thank you.
So a lot of women, that's people want to be something they're not, basically.
I think people are.
They're like the models, the supermodels on Instagram. Sadly, the real life they're not.
Yeah, but they're unconscious, and if you're unconscious, I can control you. As long as I have you far away from source, I can control you. You go back to source, nobody can control you. You've got just one person above you, and that's the only.
The Almighty.
The Almighty. It's not a person, but it's so you are. That's the only. That's my North Star, and what I say my North Star is truth, and I kneel to that only and nothing else. And in that, I mean, there's nothing you can sell me that'll make me feel better about myself. If I do feel, and I'm a human, so if I have the moments where I don't feel great about myself about something, I go back to that and I try and figure out why and where and how did I get off the path where, and I find my center back. I'm not going to, I know for a fact, I'm conscious enough to know I'm not going to find it in some extra surgery or buying extra dresses or an extra cake or whatever. That's not the answer. I know that my mind is telling me, why don't you do that? If the mind's designed to do that, I'll just go and do that and it'll feel good.
You don't find real peace in that, do you?
Yes, correct.
It's a short-term fix, not long-term.
Correct. And that's where the free will comes in. Is this side, the earth will always try and pull you and say, I've got the pill for you. I've got a pill, and you just come every Sunday, I'll give you this pill. And you're addicted, and you're paying money for this pill. Some girls are
addicted. Girls start at a young age in the early 20s. It's very sad. Because I've got lots of friends who are aesthetic doctors that tell me the stories.
Yeah.
Very sad.
I have a few clients that way, or, and it's men as well. Huh? It's not just the women, or you're always kind of doing some new things. And it's this connection. So that's what it is. And again, all the roads lead back to the heart. So we're going to do until we are tired of doing. And then we say, I'm tired, God. And it's like, okay. That's saying, when you say to God, I'm tired, then God says, good. Now let me do the doing for you. Just be. And that's the surrendering space. And we kind of start making our way back to truth. Yeah.
Right. So Rima, you've lived in Dubai all your life. I'm from England. I'm a real estate tycoon. In my career, I have 30 years experience in real estate. I've transacted over £5 billion worth of property, over 5,000 transactions. I want to ask you, because you know Dubai, you've seen the property market go like this. Lots of people ask me in England, is Dubai bubble going to burst? But one thing I've seen is that the property prices are constantly going up and up, and the city's expanding towards Jabal Ali now. I'm just buying a villa there right now, and also it's going towards Ras Al Khaimah.
Yes.
Do you think it's a good time to buy in Dubai right now or not, as a real estate, as an entrepreneur? Because you're very well tuned, both spiritually and...
I do invest as well in real estate. Yeah. So, yes.
It's a good time to buy.
100%.
Because according to the global markets, if you look at Paris, if you look at New York, look at London, Dubai is still quite low price per square foot. So do you think you should still buy right now?
These are the numbers. So when we zoom out, we really zoom out, and we look at trends around the world, and we look at just human behavior and human nature. Humans are attracted to Dubai. So human energy is all flocking from everywhere. There's a reason. It's not just the numbers. It can never be just the numbers. Otherwise, many other numbers would make sense as well. That it's the energies.
Dubai's a wonderful place. It's a gateway to the world. Yes. Secondly, it's very safe. If you have a girl walking around the street at 1 a.m. here alone, you know she's safe.
100%.
Whereas if that happened in the West, she'll need basically a bodyguard with her.
Which is what we do when we travel. But so that's the thing. So safety is number one. Another thing which it is It is incredibly welcoming.
Yeah.
And it is a renewal city. What I mean by that is people come here. You'll hear so many people come here and say, I came here, I was, a lawyer or an owner of this, and now I've changed to this career. It's like it allows people to dream again. It's just the land allows you to start seeing possibilities that elsewhere you felt limited from dreaming about.
Yes.
So people start dreaming again and doing again. Now, for me, numbers are very important, obviously. So I was getting numbers when it's contracts and things. But before that, I want to look at human movements and what the collective is doing in the world. So when I look at Dubai, Europe is going obsolete at the moment, as you know. It's black and white, slowly fading into a bit of a grayish. But
that's because of the taxes.
Many things, yes.
And secondly, a lot of Russian money sanctioned, so it can't go into Europe. It comes to Dubai.
Correct. And what we have in Dubai is that it's vibrant. The colors are alive. It's vibrant on all levels. Doesn't matter what you do here. An artist, you own property, whatever it is you do. So many people come here, they're retired. Whatever it is that they do, this is a fantastic place to live. Now, by the end of this year, from what I understood is we're going to be at 4 million. This is just Dubai, and we're not speaking about the rest of the Emirates. And by 2030, I believe we're doubling that.
Wow.
So the number that I heard was 7.2 million, and that's where it's going. And from my life living here, I lived in Abu Dhabi most of my life when I was younger. There was no Dubai really. It was very little. Whatever they say they will do, they deliver. If there's anything that this country offers that most countries in the world don't, and I say most really, I'm at the 99%, there is such integrity in their work. They say we're going to do this, it's done. They never speak and it's not done.
Yeah,
That's
so their action speaks louder than words.
Their leadership is what we speak about in the masculine energy, which is the man that his word is his actions.
Yes.
So when they say this is where it's going, and they're telling the people that, we know how to adjust, we know how to align, because they understand we're all working together. Which is not the feeling you get in a lot of countries around the world, where it's like there's the government and they're against us. And here it's no, the government and us are one. They tell us, we are like, what do we do? And it's always been this mentality growing up here. I remember my dad came here late 70s, and it was whatever directions come from the top, everybody was saying, what else can I do? Because I believe in you so much. You are doing so much for us. What else can we do? Because we are winning together. We are working together. And it's not a winning of we're winning over other nations. We're winning in the right values. Their values here are equality, honesty, abundance for everybody, growth together. It helps support tolerance. They're tolerant and they're helping the world. So their values are the humane values, humanity. People feel safe here, not just in terms of physically, nobody's going to attack me, but emotionally, I'm home.
Yeah, this place is very cosmopolitan. You can do whatever you like. You can practice your religion, whether you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu. So it's very cosmopolitan. It's very welcoming. I agree with that.
It is probably the only country that says, if you are humane and share our values, the human values, then you're on board. If you're a crook, etc., we don't really want you here. Or if you're coming here to just kind of ride on our backs and do nothing and contribute nothing, that's also not going to be, because we know where those systems go. Then we get to the taxes.
So your point, Rima, is Dubai property buy is still on the up?
Absolutely.
Which area would you buy ready-made villas, or would you buy off-plan? What's your take?
I buy off-plan. I prefer off-plan. I think the long game is always better.
Yes.
Depends, of course, on people and what they're looking for. If you're looking to move in and you say, I need to move in now, obviously you're going to have... But in terms of investment, off-plan is so much. And the off-plan, you can trust it. You really can trust it. Some of the greatest developers here, Nakhil, Amar, obviously, and a few others were incredible. Bengrati, Damak, Azizi. They've proven themselves and they've done really incredibly well. So they're going to deliver. Mohamed Labar was speaking about this recently, and he was saying, I build projects, many years from now, 4 years from now, and people give me all their money now.
Yes.
For that to happen is there's a trust, and trust is the highest currency in exchange, in human exchange. That means a handshake. That means I'm going to give you that, and your word is your actions. I trust that. And then this country has that. That's why it's rolling so fast.
And it's protected by Dubai Land Department as well.
Correct.
Good.
The leadership, the government
Yes.
is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree
and
with
they're
that.
and they are incredibly attuned to the movements. They know what's happening in the UAE, and they like to get involved in the details so nothing gets lost. They are, they have their values and a vision. They're like, we don't want anything to go out of that. That's where we're taking it.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
Dubai.
I
Dubai is
love
the Miami of USA.
Yeah, in a way,
Yeah.
yes. In a way, yes. And I absolutely
Yeah.
love this country. I live mostly in Abu Dhabi, but I do spend a lot of time in Dubai. So half of the week, let's say, in Dubai. Abu Dhabi is a different vibe. It's also really rising incredibly in terms of investment. It's very, very good. It is slower because they take their time a little bit with what they're doing. It's still a lot of mainland and lesser for investment, but the places which are for investment, quality-wise, are incredible.
Yes. You get more for your money in Abu Dhabi.
You get incredible stuff.
And I know we're pushed for time, so a few other questions. So you basically mentor, life coach people. So you help people grow in the personal capacity and also business capacity. So how would you say if I came to you, let's say, Rima, I said, I want you to help me grow in business terms, and in personal terms, how would you help me? Just so my listeners can understand, because I could use you as a consultant.
Yes.
I always want to grow.
Yes. So I can't answer the questions for you, but I'll help you find the answers for yourself, which means I'll help you access parts that are unconscious to you. So first of all is identifying those goals and clarifying them and making sure that they are your goals and coming from source. Is heart and mind aligned in that? Otherwise, it's not sustainable. Anything that is, I'm just doing this because I want to impress and be the best in the world, not sustainable. Anything that is, I just want to be free and I don't want to do anything, that is also not sustainable. So it's what other goals are sustainable, and mind or heart is saying, yes, that's me. Ooh, that feels good. That's freedom. That's me. So first we get
You connect the mind and the heart.
Yes, alignment. Nothing that is not in alignment is sustainable. You can make money.
Yes.
You can make a lot of money in 1 year. Can I make you make money in 50 years? Now that needs sustainability,
Yes.
which means the heart needs to be in it. The heart is the fire, is what's keeping you alive, is what's making you wake up and do, making you devoted, committed to something. And when the heart is alive, we can bear anything.
Yes.
It can bear anything. When it's not, and we're
So
forcing
you connect
ourselves.
the mind and the heart together so that you can excel.
Correct.
It's like podcasting. I enjoy it. The mind and heart are connected.
Yes.
Real estate, I've been doing it for years, but I like podcasting. That's the income provider. Podcasting, I actually don't make money from it,
Yes.
but I just enjoy it.
It's fun and
Yeah.
it's connection.
And I meet
brings
interesting
connection.
people. You and I will become friends. You meet
Yes,
interesting
correct.
people along the
Correct.
journey.
And you connect with people,
Yes.
and that's kind of how we grow together
Yes.
in many ways.
So you help people connect. So basically, as a life coach mentor, you help people connect their mind and heart so they're aligned to achieve their goals.
Yes, so I bring clarity in the chaos. So I bring the natural organizational way of creating things. Everything we do as human beings, whether it's in groups, companies, whatever, is we're creating. We are creating machines 24/7. We're either creating intentionally and consciously, or we are not. And what is sustainable and fulfilling, which are two different things and two necessary things for a creation to be the creation of desire. So those two things need to come together, and I come and help people organize that in the way that they achieve that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're busy mentoring people all the time. Do you do it in an individual capacity or in a group capacity?
I do individual. I've cut down on the individual a little bit, but I do individual, and I do groups, and I do talks, and I do workshops and such things. I do a lot of written pieces as well that I share with the community.
How much does it cost
What?
to get you as a one-to-one or as a group?
It depends. They can contact me. But
Right, it's all different, subject to how much time
it depends if I have to fly to Saudi or it depends. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the messages before we bring it to a close? What message would you like to give to the listeners? Because this podcast will go to millions of people. What message would you like to give to the people?
I think at the moment in the world, we are all returning to the heart. And the manifestation of that in the world has been through AI, which means the intelligence, which isn't so artificial, has been now put out of us so it can serve us. But then what is the us? If I am not my mind anymore all the time, right, thinking and doing all of that work, and there's another thing doing it for me on the outside, what am I without it? So now we are getting a really beautiful opportunity to drop back into our hearts and really redefine who we are through our heart centers. So what is
Yes.
it that we want to do, and what kind of world we want to create from the heart, which is a very different world that is coming from the world that was before. So I think whoever's feeling those pulls towards, a renewal, which I think we all are, and there's something different and shifting in the world, it's shifting here. And to really listen to that heart and reconnect to that space. The answers are there. Nobody's got the answers but you.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. One thing I want to say is Bill Gates said this. AI, you touched on AI, 80% of humans' jobs will be replaced by AI. So, for example, let's say if I want to advise a few, my name's Mr. Smith, and rather than contacting Rima, I can just put in ChatGPT, put in AI, how do I excel in business, how do I lose weight, how do I create more discipline, etc. They'll just type it in, and people's jobs will become less. What do you think the future of AI will be with people who mentor people like yourself?
I think the word jobs is going to be redefined, which means when we think of when I think of the world, that there is a world and it gives jobs, and I come and apply to a job and I get a job. We're still in the world of the getting, so I'm not creating, right? And I think we are moving into a world of now we are creating. So I'm not expecting the government to give me jobs. I'm not expecting companies to come and give me. The outside is not giving me. We are creating it from the inside out. As long as there are human beings alive, there will be value exchanged. That is the essence of business. What is business is there's 5 people and they have different needs and different offers, and how do they arrange that? So if I have 8 billion people, 9 billion people, that is much more exchange going on. You have an orange, I have a banana, I want the orange, you want the banana. We exchange, we create what is the value of it? Maybe it's 2 bananas instead of one. So as long as there's humans, there's going to be exchange, so there's going to be demand and offer. Always. And if people don't get into understanding that the model of work, business, job, professional career, all of that is being redefined. All of that's being redefined. Now, life is not going to be, I have a career life, I have a personal life. What does it mean to have a personal life? Do you know what I mean? It's like, when I say is this impersonal? Are my other lives impersonal? I am one person everywhere.
Yeah.
And people don't want to wear these masks.
Yes.
Now it's like, me, what does this life want to express? What is it here to do? And in that, I am that in everything. And the world's emerging now. We are reconnecting. Technology allowed us to do that mainly, which is connect to one another, to see ourselves in one another, and find our thoughts and feelings in one another.
Yes.
And in doing that, we are realizing there is a different world that can be. And now that I don't have to do so much of the mental work, I have 24 hours in a day, and hopefully 8 of them I'm sleeping, 9 of them. But the rest of it, I would like to be doing meaningful work that isn't, now I'm going to an office to this time and this time, or now I have to work, and then I get to have socializing. No, it's all going to be one. We don't have social life and work life. We should work with the people we socialize with. Why?
Yes.
I love them. They're my friends. I chose them. If these people are my friends, how are we not growing together and doing together?
Exactly.
Why am I working with other people that I barely know, or that, they've been chosen by somebody else for me? It's like mommy choosing, play dates for me. I don't know these people, but these people that I resonate with, how are we not doing things together? So now the social blends into my professional life, and it becomes one, a life. I have a life. I don't have.
But sometimes the social circle isn't as talented as the people you work with. So I play sports. When I play sports, my social friends are different.
Yes.
The people I play sports with, they're more talented at that particular sport.
Yes, but I think we exchange all the time. We only call a job what we receive money for, because we have assigned in this beautiful play that we call life or the world, we've assigned this, currency is what we exchange with. Before that, it wasn't. It was truck, so we were just exchanging things. I have a tree, you have a horse, and let's see how we. But so the currency is how we exchange. But that's not the only way. That's not what value is. right? It's not the only value. So when you're playing with your friends, whatever sports you play or golf or whatever, when you're playing with your friend, the exchange you're getting there, you're getting immense value. Human connection is immense value.
Correct.
Can we value that more now? Because everything we do here for the money is to get that. We're coming to understand that. It's everything that you ask somebody. A man will, will go to university and get a job and want to fight and, compete with everybody and build companies. For what? What is it for? What is it really for? To feel lovable at the end of it. That is what it is. To be part, to connect, to have the family, the respect, to be part of, to belong. So these are really what we are seeking, and they exist in our lives already. So it's like, how do we understand the value of them now as opposed to paper? We are going into interesting times, incredibly interesting times. We are redefining by dissolving a model which is quite made up, man-made. It's a beautiful play we've created. It's incredible. I think centuries from now, we're going to look back and they'll be like, can you believe these people? What is this paper thing? They used to print paper. I think that's where we're going.
Nice, good, interesting perspective. One last question, Rima, is that if you gave yourself advice to your younger self, what would you have done differently? So, for example, now you've experienced life, you're very learned, you're very intelligent. What would you have to give advice would you give your younger version, like 20 years ago, that you look back and done differently?
Well, I would start with you're exactly where you need to be as you are right now, is perfectly as it needs to be. And the advice would be, don't doubt. Don't doubt. You know what you know. Don't doubt it.
So believe in yourself.
You know what you know. When you know something, it's not because the other naysayers are saying it's not there, they don't see it, that it doesn't exist. Don't doubt it.
Do it with full yaqeen, do it with full faith.
Your validation of that, your approval of that, what you know, is from here. And that's enough.
Wonderful
You don't
advice.
need others. Yeah.
So, Rima, it's great to have you on the podcast. I'd like to thank everybody for watching and listening.
Thank you.
And thanks for making time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you so
Really
much,
wonderful
Nabil.
to have
I've
you.
loved this. You're so wonderful.